All right. So, are you ready to dive deep into BlockDAG?
Always ready.
This is a new crypto project that's been making some waves, and, I always like to stay on the cutting edge of this space, so.
Yeah, this one is interesting.
You sent over the BlockDAG Whitepaper. And some other information.
Right.
And you want to know if this is really worth all the hype or if this is just, another flash in the pan.
Well, a white paper is basically like a blueprint for a new cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It lays out the problem they're trying to solve.
I see.
The technology behind it and, their vision for the future.
Okay.
So our mission today is to really break down BlockDAG,
right.
see what's unique about it.
Yeah.
And help you decide if it's something you should be paying attention to.
Okay. I'm intrigued. But, I'm also a little skeptical.
Right.
We've seen a lot of these next big thing crypto projects come and go. So
yeah, sure.
What makes BlockDAG different?
Well, one of the key differences is how it handles transactions. Most cryptocurrencies use a blockchain, which is like a single line at the bank.
Right. Everyone's got to wait their turn.
Exactly. Each transaction has to wait its turn.
Yeah. It's secure, but it can get really slow.
Well,
especially when things get busy.
Especially when the network is congested. Yeah.
Yeah, the blockchain's getting long.
It can really bog things down.
Totally.
Now, imagine if you could deposit a check, withdraw cash, and get a loan approval all at the same time.
Whoa, multitasking at the bank.
That's kind of what BlockDAG is going for with its directed acyclic GRAT or DAG structure.
Okay, a DAG instead of a blockchain.
Exactly. It allows for multiple transactions to happen simultaneously.
So instead of one single line, we've got multiple tellers working at the same time.
That's a much better analogy. I like that.
So that does sound a lot faster.
Yeah, it has the potential to be much faster.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Remember how we talked about Bitcoin using that UTXO model? Which is unspent transaction output?
Like cash, right?
Right, cash, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Ethereum uses an account-based model.
Like a bank account.
More like a traditional bank account.
Yeah, okay.
Well, with BlockDAG, you don't have to choose.
Whoa, hold on.
They've cleverly combined both models.
Combining them. How does that even work?
It's actually a pretty elegant solution.
And wouldn't that make things super complicated?
No, not really.
Okay.
You get the security and speed of Bitcoin transactions thanks to the UTXO model, plus the flexibility of Ethereum's smart contracts, which come from that account-based model.
Okay, so it's like having a checking account.
Yeah.
They can also process transactions as fast as cash.
You got it.
That's huge for developers.
For developers, yeah.
Because they can build applications that are both fast and, capable of doing all sorts of cool things.
Right.
With smart contracts.
Exactly.
Okay, now that is an aha moment for me.
Good.
I'm starting to get it.
And that's not all.
Okay, there's more.
BlockDAG is also fully compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, or EVM.
Now, the EVM, that's where all the code for Ethereum applications runs, right?
Precisely. It's the environment where all that code is executed.
Okay, so any developer who's already building on Ethereum can easily bring their projects over to BlockDAG.
Yeah, think of it as speaking the same language.
Okay, so BlockDAG's saying, hey, Ethereum developers, come on over.
Right.
We've got a faster, more scalable platform for you.
Exactly.
And you don't even have to learn a new language.
That's a great way to put it.
That's fair.
And to make things even smoother, they've built a special bridge.
A bridge?
Yeah, that allows coins to move seamlessly between the UTXO and EVM sides of BlockDAG.
Okay, so I'm picturing two separate rooms.
Okay.
Connected by a doorway, you can go back and forth.
Yeah.
But you can only be in one room at a time.
It's a good analogy.
Is that kind of how this bridge works?
Yeah, the bridge has security checks in place to prevent any funny business.
Of course.
And the exchange rate between the two sides is always 1.1, so you can move your coins back and forth without losing any value.
I like that feature.
All
right, this is starting to sound pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's ambitious.
But how does it actually all work on a technical level?
Right.
How does BlockDAG achieve consensus and handle mining?
Well, like Bitcoin,
Okay.
BlockDAG uses proof of work, or POWDAG.
Okay.
This means miners use their computing power to solve complex math problems to add new blocks to the network.
So we've got miners crunching numbers just like in Bitcoin.
Exactly.
But you said BlockDAG is supposed to be faster
right.
and more scalable.
Yeah.
How does that work if it's still using the same old POWDAG?
That's the clever part.
Okay.
BlockDAG allows for concurrent block production.
Meaning
miners can work in parallel.
Okay, I see.
Think of it like a team of construction workers building different parts of a house at the same time.
All right.
Instead of one worker doing everything sequentially.
So instead of waiting for one miner to finish a block before another one can start, multiple miners are working on different blocks simultaneously.
That's the idea.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
But how do they make sure everything stays organized
Right.
and secure
Good question.
with all this parallel work going on?
That's where their secret weapon comes in.
Okay, what's the secret weapon?
BlockDAG.
BlockDAG sounds kind of spooky.
It's not spooky at all.
Okay.
But it is a sophisticated algorithm that helps BlockDAG order transactions
I see.
in a way that prevents double spending and ensures fairness.
So it's like a referee in a game,
Yeah,
making sure nobody's cheating
exactly.
by double spending coins and keeping the game fair for everyone.
You got it.
Okay.
Imagine Alice has one coin and she tries to send it to both Bob and Carol at the same time.
Oh, that sounds like trouble.
It would be if we didn't have a system to prevent it.
Right.
So BlockDAG steps in and helps resolve these conflicting transactions by prioritizing blocks from honest miners over potentially dishonest ones.
Interesting. So it's all about rewarding good behavior and punishing bad behavior.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, so BlockDAG is like this behind-the-scenes mastermind,
Right.
making sure everything runs smoothly and securely.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why people are excited about this project.
It's definitely an innovative approach.
Okay.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to explore.
I'm sure there is.
Like how the BlockDAG coin itself works,
Got
right?
plans.
And its distribution.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper. Let's talk about the BlockDAG coin and get into the nitty-gritty details.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we talked about the tech behind BlockDAG, but I want to get to the heart of the matter.
Uh-huh.
The BlockDAG coin itself. What's the deal with this token?
The BlockDAG coin is essentially the fuel that powers the entire BlockDAG network.
Okay.
It's what incentivizes miners to secure the network.
Okay.
And it's what users will use to pay transaction fees.
So it's like gas for a car, no BlockDAG gen BlockDAG.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
But how many of these coins are actually out there? And how are they being distributed?
According to the white paper, there will be a maximum supply of 150 billion BlockDAG coins.
Wow, 150 billion. A lot of coins. How are they divvying up that massive pie?
50% is allocated to the miners,
Okay.
who are doing the heavy lifting of securing the network.
Right.
33.3% went towards a pre-sale to early investors.
Okay.
12.7% is dedicated to supporting the community
Right.
and building the ecosystem around BlockDAG. And the remaining portions are reserved for the team
Okay.
and ensuring sufficient liquidity for the coin.
So it sounds like they're trying to strike a balance between rewarding the people
Yeah.
who are actively involved in the project and making sure there's enough coins available for everyday users.
Right.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Papa? What's that?
Security.
Right.
We've seen some pretty nasty hacks and vulnerabilities in the crypto world.
Yeah, unfortunately it happens.
So how does BlockDAG address those concerns?
You're right to raise that security is paramount in any cryptocurrency project.
Absolutely.
And BlockDAG seems to have taken a multi-layered approach.
Yeah.
First off, they're using strong encryption throughout the entire system.
Okay, so encryption is like the first line of defense.
It's like a digital vault safeguarding your BlockDAG coins.
But encryption alone isn't always enough.
Right, it's not. That's why BlockDAG also includes features to protect against various types of attacks.
Like what kind of attacks?
Like DDoS attacks.
Yeah.
Distributed denial of service attacks, which
right.
aim to overwhelm the network.
Right.
And of course, the proof of work consensus mechanism itself plays a crucial role
Yeah.
in preventing things like double spending or 51% attacks.
Where a single entity tries to hijack control of the network.
Exactly.
So it's a combination of strong cryptography, proactive attack prevention measures,
Right.
and the inherent security of the POW model.
Yeah, they've tried to cover all the bases.
Okay, so can we take a step back for a second?
Sure.
And talk about nodes.
Go.
I still get a little confused about what they are
Like
and why
no.
they're important.
Think of nodes as the unsung heroes of the BlockDAG network.
Okay,
They were like the little worker bees that keep everything buzzing along.
gotcha.
You've got your full nodes, which are like the librarians of the network.
Okay, the librarians.
They store the entire transaction history.
So they've got like every transaction that's ever happened?
Yeah, they keep a complete record. They validate transactions
Okay.
and make sure everyone is playing by the rules.
So full nodes are kind of like a decentralized network of record keepers,
Exactly.
making sure everything is accurate and on the up and up.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, and then you have the minor nodes,
Right.
which we've already talked about a little bit.
Yes.
They're the ones competing to solve those complex math problems, adding new blocks to the DAG,
Right.
and getting rewarded with those BlockDAG coins in the process. So the full nodes are all about maintaining the integrity of the network's history.
Yeah.
While the minor nodes are the ones actively adding to that history.
Right.
And keeping things secure through their mining efforts.
You got it.
It's like a beautiful little dance between these two types of nodes.
Yeah, it's this interplay that makes a decentralized network like BlockDAG function.
That clarifies things. But you mentioned earlier that there are different hardware requirements for running different types of nodes.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Right.
Is it expensive to run a BlockDAG node?
It depends on what type of node you want to run.
Okay.
For full nodes,
Right.
which are essentially just verifying and relaying transactions,
Right.
the requirements are relatively modest.
Okay.
You could probably get away with running a full node on an older computer.
So if someone just wants to contribute to the network's decentralization and make sure they have an independent view of the transaction history,
Right.
they don't need to shell out a ton of money for fancy hardware. But if you want to be a minor node and try your luck at earning some of those BDAG rewards,
Right.
you'll need some serious computing power.
You will?
That means investing in specialized hardware,
Right.
like ASIC miners, which can be quite expensive.
They can be very specialized and very expensive.
Makes sense. The more computing power you have, the better your chances
Yeah.
of solving those math problems and getting the rewards.
Right.
It's kind of like an arms race.
It can be, especially for popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
But one of the things that's interesting about BlockDAG is its focus on concurrent block production.
Right.
Remember how we talked about miners being able to work in parallel?
Yeah, like those construction workers.
Yeah, that whole analogy.
Working on different parts of the house at the same time.
Well, that approach could potentially level the playing field a bit
It could.
when it comes to mining.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't have the most powerful hardware,
Right.
you can still contribute to the network and have a chance to earn rewards by working on blocks concurrently with other miners.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it's one of the things that makes BlockDAG stand out.
So it's not just about brute force computing power with this project.
Right.
There's more room for collaboration and participation from a wider range of miners that definitely aligns with the whole decentralization philosophy.
It does.
Okay, so we've talked about the BDAG coin. It's distribution.
Right.
Security features the role of nodes.
Yeah.
And even the hardware requirements for running them.
We've covered a lot.
What else is there to cover anything about the team behind this project or their vision for the future?
Let's talk about that.
We've talked a lot about the nuts and bolts of BlockDAG, you know, the coin, even how to get involved by running a node.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But I'm curious about the bigger picture. Where does BlockDAG fit into the whole crypto landscape?
That's a good question. I mean, you've got Bitcoin, the OG.
Like the original gangster.
Focused on secure, decentralized money.
Yeah, digital gold.
Then Ethereum comes along with smart contracts.
Right.
And opens up a whole world of possibilities.
A world of applications.
So BlockDAG is aiming to bridge that gap.
Okay, so not trying to like dethrone Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Right.
But carving out its own unique niche.
Exactly. They're leveraging the speed and security of that UTXO model, but also embracing the flexibility of the EVM and smart contracts.
So it's kind of like a hybrid, a super crypto?
You could say that, plus they're adding their own innovations on top of that.
Right, like that concurrent block production we talked about.
Exactly, because scalability is the big hurdle for a lot of these blockchain projects.
It really is.
So if BlockDAG can actually deliver on faster transactions without compromising security, that's a game changer.
That's huge, but that's the million-dollar question with any new tech, especially in crypto.
Right.
Can they actually deliver on what they're promising?
Will it live up to the hype?
There's always that element of risk, uncertainty, but, you know, that's what makes it exciting.
It's what keeps things interesting.
It feels like we're witnessing the birth of something truly revolutionary.
I agree, and it's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's the team behind it.
Right.
Their vision, the community they build.
Right.
All of that plays a role.
Speaking of the team,
the
white paper mentioned something about a nonprofit foundation. What's the purpose of that?
It's actually a pretty common model.
Okay.
Especially for projects that are serious about decentralization.
Okay.
So the foundation acts as a steward, especially in those early stages.
I see.
They guide the project's development. But the ultimate goal is to transition to a fully decentralized ecosystem over time.
So the foundation's not going to be around forever.
Right, where the community is in control.
So it's like training wheels for a bike.
Yeah.
Eventually, BlockDAG is supposed to ride on its own without any central authority.
Exactly. It's all about putting power in the hands of the people.
Right. Which is a core principle of the whole cryptocurrency movement.
Absolutely.
I'm getting the sense that BlockDAG is really trying to walk the walk.
Yeah.
Not just talk the talk when it comes to decentralization.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But I'm still a little skeptical.
Sure.
I mean, if BlockDAG really lives up to all these promises, what impact could it actually have on the world?
That's the big question, isn't it?
What are we really talking about here?
Well, if it delivers on those promises of speed, scalability, and security, it could be a catalyst for a whole new wave of innovation.
Okay.
Not just in finance,
Right.
but in all sorts of industries.
Okay, then you've really got me thinking.
Good.
Imagine a world where supply chains are transparent and efficient. Where digital identities are secure and controlled by individuals.
Right.
Where voting systems are tamper-proof.
Yeah.
And accessible to everyone. Is that the kind of future we're talking about?
Those are just a few examples of the potential applications. We're really just at the beginning of exploring what's possible with these decentralized systems.
You've painted a pretty compelling picture. I have to say, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on BlockDAG.
Me too. It's a project full of potential.
It'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds.
Absolutely. And for our listeners out there, I encourage you to continue your research.
Yeah.
Explore the BlockDAG community. Maybe even consider running a node yourself.
Yeah. Get in on the ground floor.
Be a part of this emerging ecosystem.
Who knows? Maybe you'll play a role in shaping the future of this technology.
That's the beauty of this space. Anyone can participate, contribute, and potentially benefit.
Well said. And that wraps up our deep dive into BlockDAG.
I hope you found it informative.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, stay curious, keep exploring, and who knows what amazing things we'll uncover together in the future.
That's what it's all about.